All right, ready to climb some spiritual mountains today.
Sounds exciting.
We're going deep into Buddhist practice this time, specifically these things called grounds,
Yeah.
like stages you go through to reach liberation.
Right.
We're working with some amazing old texts, really laying out the path to these higher grounds.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? One of the biggest themes is touch.
Oh, wow.
And I don't mean like getting a massage.
No, it goes way deeper than that.
It does.
It's super interesting how these texts actually say that touch is like the root of both pleasure and suffering.
Huh?
But it's not about avoiding all pleasure or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's more about being really aware.
Okay, so let's back up a bit.
Sure.
What exactly are these grounds? Why should we even care about reaching these higher levels?
Good question. Well, you could think of the grounds as like base camps.
Okay.
Like when you're climbing a mountain, each one means you understand more.
Okay.
You've let go of some suffering, the kind we all have. Basically, you've leveled up in your inner world.
So kind of like milestones in a video game.
Exactly.
You unlock new abilities, get those insights.
Yeah, but it's not just about knowing more.
Right?
You're actually changing how you exist in the world.
That's deep.
It is.
So our sources get right into it, describing the first 3 grounds.
Yeah.
To get to that first ground, you have to get these 18 intentional actions.
Interesting.
Then for the second, it's about understanding the 6 realms of existence.
Wow.
And by the third ground, you've mastered the 5 roots of sensation.
Wow.
And you've detached from the pleasures of touch, like completely
That's a lot.
intense.
It's a journey for sure.
It is.
And, the texts don't always explain these terms.
Oh, right.
They're like signs pointing to bigger ideas that you got to explore more deeply.
Like a treasure hunt, maybe?
Yeah, you could say that.
They give us clues. We do the digging.
Right.
Oh, and there's this one quote about the third ground that really got me.
Oh, yeah.
It says, knowing that the blissfulness is born from the cause of touch, he knows in truth. I know the blissfulness.
That's a good one.
What's that really about?
That quote kind of sums up the whole pleasure and suffering thing.
Does it?
When you get even blissful feelings come from touch. You see how temporary they are.
Ah, okay.
It's not about rejecting pleasure.
Yeah.
Just not being controlled by it.
So it's not about denying yourself pleasure.
Yeah.
It's more about knowing it won't last forever.
Exactly.
And knowing where it comes from.
That's it.
Okay, I think I'm getting that.
Good.
And this leads into the 4th ground, right?
It does.
Which is where things get really interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, tell me more. What's so special about this 4th ground?
Well, to reach this level,
Yeah.
you got to see that even happiness from touch, as good as it feels,
Right.
doesn't last.
Mm-hmm.
And that understanding makes you let go of all attachment to your senses.
Really?
Not in a bad way.
Okay.
It's more like a peaceful letting go.
Huh. There's that line, this is the way of renouncing the causes of suffering, such as touch, suffering, 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 and so on.
Yeah, I like that one.
Like, they're really hitting us over the head with the repetition.
They are.
They're saying that clinging to anything, even happy feelings,
Oh, boy.
leads to more suffering later.
Exactly.
It's about breaking free from that craving and aversion cycle.
Uh-huh.
So once you've reached this level of, renunciation,
Yeah.
what does the 4th ground even feel like? Is it pure bliss or?
Think of it like this profound inner peace. Your mind isn't swayed by every little bit of pleasure or pain.
Wow.
The text actually describes it as pure and white. Gives you a sense of clarity and peace, don't you think?
It does. Like, you're at this calm center,
Yeah.
and life's ups and downs can't touch you.
Right.
But wait, there's something else in the text I got to ask about.
Oh.
It says when someone gets to the 3rd ground, it causes this cosmic celebration,
It does, yeah.
like a party in the heavens.
Huh. Well, not exactly cake and balloons.
Right.
But the texts describe beings from different realms, like the Night Forks,
Night Forks.
the 4 great kings.
Wow.
Even a king riding an elephant named Maravana.
No way.
They're all rejoicing because of the practitioner's achievement.
That's amazing. Like, the whole universe is cheering you on.
Yeah, pretty much.
As you move along the spiritual path.
Right.
Mind-blowing.
It really shows how interconnected we all are.
Does it?
One person's progress actually helps everyone.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
So it's not just personal growth then.
No.
You're contributing to something much bigger.
You are.
This is incredible. I'm really seeing how profound this whole path of grounds can be.
Me too.
It's not about some far-off enlightenment. It's about understanding ourselves
Right.
and the world on a deeper level.
Exactly.
This has been amazing.
Glad you're enjoying it.
But I have to ask,
Sure.
are there any, practical tips or techniques to help us integrate these teachings?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It's one thing to get the concepts,
Right.
but how do we actually use this wisdom when we're faced with, real life?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll definitely get into next time.
Okay.
Because the best part is, these teachings aren't just ancient wisdom.
They're not.
No, they're tools we can use to handle the craziness of modern life.
I like that.
We'll dive into that more soon.
Can't wait. Okay, so we know touch can be,
A double-edged sword.
yeah, basically,
Right.
incredible highs, but then,
Deep lows, too.
right, exactly.
All right.
So how do we actually deal with that? Experience the world, all the sensations,
Yeah.
but not get swept away by the pleasure and pain.
That's the tricky part.
It is
It's a dance,
a dance, huh?
Takes practice.
And it's not about shutting ourselves off from everything, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
It's more like learning to experience it all,
Yeah.
but with awareness,
Yeah.
less like reacting to everything.
Okay, but that sounds hard.
It can be.
How do I stop myself from,
Mm-hmm.
craving that delicious cake?
Oh, yeah.
Or getting annoyed when someone cuts me off in traffic?
I feel you.
Those are gut reactions.
They are, totally.
So how do you change that?
Well, the idea isn't to become like robots.
Okay, good.
No emotions. It's more about creating space.
Space.
Yeah, like around those experiences.
I don't get it.
Okay, imagine you're watching a movie.
Okay, I like movie.
You get caught up in it, right?
Yeah, the drama, laughing, crying.
Exactly.
For all
The feels, but it's just a movie.
Right, of course.
You don't let it, take over your whole reality.
Okay, I get that.
So we want to be more like the observer.
The observer.
Yeah, in that movie theater, watching our thoughts and feelings come and go,
Okay.
not getting lost in the plot.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So we're not trying to fight those cravings or push them down. We're just becoming friends with them.
Kinda, yeah.
That's weird.
It's about realizing these feelings are normal,
Normal.
Part of being human.
Okay.
They come, they hang out for a bit, then they fade away.
And that's fine.
Totally. The problem is when we get stuck in the story.
The story.
Yeah, like when we believe those cravings are us.
Oh.
Or that they can actually control us.
And they can't.
Not really.
So we're giving them the starring role in our own movie.
Exactly.
And that messes things up.
Big time.
How so?
We act out those cravings.
Mm.
Chasing pleasures, avoiding anything unpleasant.
Oh, I see.
We become slaves to our senses.
Instead of being in control.
Yeah, the masters of our own experience.
Okay, so how do we flip the script?
How do we get back in the director's chair?
Yeah, start calling the shots.
Well, remember those 18 intentional actions.
Oh, right. For the first ground?
Yep, that's a good place to start.
We were going to unpack those.
We were.
Okay, so what are they?
Basically, they're like ethical guidelines.
Ethical guidelines.
For living a more mindful life.
A good life.
Yeah, a wholesome life.
Okay.
It's about building good qualities.
Like what?
Generosity, kindness, patience, wisdom, all that.
So it's not just about sitting and meditating.
No, there's more to it.
There's an active part to this whole grounds thing.
Definitely.
Interesting.
It's about making your actions match your intentions.
Okay.
Inside and out.
Yeah.
Walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
I like that. This is making more sense now.
Good.
It's like a whole body approach to spiritual growth, right?
Exactly.
Working on yourself from the inside out.
Yeah.
Building wisdom and compassion.
Right.
And then actually acting ethically in the world.
That's it.
And those 6 realms of existence. Oh, we got to talk about those too.
We do.
Pop quiz time.
Okay.
What are they again?
Well, there's the realm of the gods.
Okay.
Lots of bliss, but they can get kind of prideful.
Oh, right.
Attached to things. Then there's the demigods.
Demigods.
Full of jealousy and competition. And of course, us humans.
The human realm.
With all our joys and sorrows.
Right. The whole mixed bag.
Then there's the animal realm.
Okay.
Driven by instinct, survival. Below that is the realm of hungry ghosts.
Hungry ghosts.
Always craving, never satisfied.
Oh, wow.
And finally, the hell realm.
Yeah, that one doesn't sound fun.
Intense suffering there.
So we're always moving through these realms.
Yeah.
Based on our actions?
Exactly. But it's not like a fixed system.
Okay.
It's dynamic, always changing.
I see.
by doing good things.
Yeah.
Aligning our actions with wisdom and compassion, we can move towards the higher realms.
And eventually break free from the cycle.
That's the goal.
This is bringing us back to the whole point of reaching those higher grounds, right?
That's it.
It's more than just feeling good or avoiding pain.
Right.
It's transforming who we are, our whole being.
You got it.
Okay, I'm with you. And that's where those 5 roots of sensation come in.
The 5 roots, right?
Yep. Remember how we said touch is key? It is, for sure.
So how do these roots fit in?
Yeah, good question.
Think of them as like the source of our senses.
The source.
Like seeds our feelings and perceptions come from.
Okay, I kind of get that.
The 5 roots are form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
It is, haha.
What does it all mean?
Okay, form is physical stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah, what we see, hear, touch, taste, smell.
The physical world.
Right. Then feeling is our emotional reaction.
Reaction to the form.
Exactly. Pleasure, pain, or just neutral perception is how we understand those sensations. The stories we make up about them.
Oh, interesting.
Mental formations are our thoughts, beliefs, habits, shaping those perceptions. And finally, consciousness is that awareness that experiences it all.
So it's like a chain reaction, starting with our senses. Yeah. Then all these feelings, thoughts, interpretations just happen.
Precisely.
And to detach, to reach those higher ground, we need to understand this process.
We do.
And learn to observe it without reacting so much.
That's it.
It's like we're detectives now.
Kinda.
We're trying to solve the mystery of our suffering.
Exactly.
Find those hidden patterns that keep us stuck.
In those cycles of craving and aversion.
Yeah, that's it.
And the good news is...
There's good news.
We all have what it takes to solve this.
We do.
Yeah, it's about building that inner awareness.
Awareness.
That mindfulness that lets us see things clearly.
I'm starting to see how deep this whole grounds thing really is.
It is pretty deep.
It's not about some vague enlightenment.
No.
It's about understanding ourselves and the world around us.
On a much deeper level.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what leads to real freedom.
Wow. This has been incredible.
I'm glad.
But I'm wondering, are there any, practical things we can do?
Practical things.
Techniques, tips, whatever.
Oh, echo.
To help us actually use these teachings in our lives.
That's a great question, and one we'll definitely explore next time. Because the beauty of these teachings is that they're not just ancient wisdom.
They're not.
No, they're tools we can use to deal with modern life, all its complexities.
I like that.
We'll get into all that soon.
Can't wait. All right, so we've mapped out this whole journey through these Buddhist grounds. We've talked about how important touch is, and we even got kind of deep into some philosophy.
It gets pretty heady sometimes.
It does. But now, let's talk about the practical stuff.
Yeah, good idea.
How do we actually use this wisdom in everyday life?
That's the real challenge, right?
It is. It's easy to talk about detaching from cake.
Right.
But when that dessert tray is right there...
It's a whole other story.
It is.
You're right. It's one thing to understand it all in your head.
Yeah.
But actually living it, that's tough.
So where do we even start? Do we got to go live on a mountaintop?
Not necessarily.
Meditate for hours.
It can help, but there are simpler ways.
Okay, like what?
Remember mindfulness meditation?
Yeah, we touched on that.
It's a great tool, super accessible.
Okay, but I always thought it was about sitting there trying to think about nothing.
It's actually a lot more active than that.
Really?
It's about noticing your thoughts, feelings, sensations as they pop up, but without judging them.
So, say I'm craving that cake again. What do I do?
You just acknowledge it.
Like, oh, there's that craving.
Exactly. Interesting. There it is again.
So we're stepping back from the urge?
Yeah.
Just observing it, kind of curiously?
Like a scientist looking at something interesting under a microscope?
I like that analogy.
And as you do this more,
you'll
see those cravings, those feelings of wanting or not wanting. They don't have as much control over you.
They don't.
You start to create space between the thing that's happening and how you react to it.
That makes sense. I can see how that would help.
Yeah.
Especially when I usually just react without thinking. Instead of grabbing the cake. I can pause, notice the craving, maybe choose something healthier.
Or just enjoy the moment without needing to give in.
That's powerful.
It is. And it's not just for food cravings either.
It's not.
Anytime you get hooked by strong emotions.
Like anger.
Anger, frustration, anxiety, all of it.
So when I'm stuck in traffic, feeling that road rage coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of honking and yelling,
wow.
I can take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Notice the tension and choose a better way to react.
Exactly. You realize you have a choice.
You do.
You're not controlled by your emotions.
That's amazing. It feels like mindfulness gives us the power to, like, be in charge of our own experience.
It does. And you can practice mindfulness anywhere.
Really? Anywhere?
You don't need a special cushion or a silent retreat or anything.
Wow.
It can be as simple as paying attention while you wash the dishes.
Really?
Or taking a walk. Or even listening to this podcast.
That's great. This makes spiritual growth feel so much more, like, doable.
It is doable.
It's not about escaping the world. It's about bringing more awareness to every moment.
That's it. And remember those 18 intentional actions.
Oh, right. The ethical guidelines.
They're really important, too.
Okay, remind me what they're all about.
It's about cultivating those good qualities when you're with other people.
Good quality.
Generosity, patience, honesty, kindness.
Right.
It's not just a list of rules.
Yeah.
It's a way to reach those higher grounds.
So it's like a two-part thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Inner peace through things like mindfulness and then expressing that peace through how we act.
Exactly. And don't forget about gratitude.
Gratitude.
Being thankful.
Okay.
When you focus on what you're grateful for,
it
changes your whole perspective.
How so?
You move away from that feeling of not having enough.
From craving.
Yeah, you start to appreciate all the good things.
Even when things are tough.
Exactly.
It's like that saying, where attention goes, energy flows.
I like that one.
If we're always thinking about what we don't have or what's wrong, that's where our energy goes.
Right. But if we can be grateful for the simple things.
Like what?
A roof over our head, a good meal, our loved ones.
Yeah, those are important.
That gratitude starts to fill everything.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And the more we practice it,
the
less we're driven by those cravings that keep us stuck.
This has been amazing.
Glad you enjoyed it.
This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening.
It's been fun.
We explored some really deep Buddhist ideas.
We did.
And now we even have some tools to actually use them in our lives.
That's the best part.
It is. I'm thinking now, what if?
What if?
Instead of trying to control the world,
yeah,
we approached it with curiosity and acceptance.
That's a great idea.
Embracing everything, the good and the bad. As part of this journey we're all on.
That's a beautiful way to look at it.
Maybe that's the real key to reaching those higher grounds.
Letting go of that need to control everything.
Yeah.
Just being present with what is.
Right.
Letting ourselves experience the richness of life.
Even the tough parts.
Exactly. Maybe that's the true essence of it all.
It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Buddhist practice.
My pleasure.
We hope you learned something.
Yeah, and that you'll keep exploring these ideas.
Keep seeking, keep questioning, keep leveling up.
Until next time.